this weekend, but unavailable tonight. So in his stead, Josh Smith takes the opening tip for Stetson, loses out to Kevin Samuel, the redshirt senior grad transfer from TCU. Gets things started for FGCU, and Dunn Martin trying to get himself going early with a deep three, and he doesn't get anything. Michael Fly, the fourth-year head coach of the Eagles, can't be too thrilled with that decision from his starting point guard.
Dunn Martin, when you're coming off a bad performance, you want to start out early. He took a long shot there, and that was... Whew.
Johnson turns it over, looking for Smith. Samuel with the steal. See the starting five for FGCU, just one change. Zach Anderson, the sophomore, into the lineup for Matt Halverson. It's a four-guard group for FGCU with the big guy Samuel in there.
And a big guy you have. Steps.
He travels. Well, Samuel does two things really, really well: rebound and block shots. But he has struggled in other areas. You see Donnie Jones, the third-year head coach of the Hatters, who was nearing 200 wins as a college coach. Dunn Martin stealing from Stefan Swenson, and a block, but goaltending. They're going to give it to him as Christian Jones got there just a hair too late. And Dunn Martin has the first 2 points of the game.
Yeah, Dunn Martin, again, you're looking at a guy that's played over 130 college basketball games, so it's not too much he hasn't seen. And if you're going to play around with the ball in front of him, he's going to take it. He's super quick, 5'8", 155 pounds they listed that, maybe. Where are the Hatters going to get some offense from with this team?
Oh, yeah, there's Johnson driving to the basket, but they turn it over again. Alvin Tumblin, who is starting in place of Perry, was out of bounds along the baseline.
But early on, you see that the Hatters are already pushing up defensively, and that's where they're going to have to make their mark as a team, I believe, Evan. It's going to have to be on the defensive end. And you see the Hatters are in a zone, kind of a matchup zone defense.
Largy from the high post. Cyrus Largy off the window, no good. Samuel misses the tip, and it'll go the other way. Foul against the Eagles. They're going to get Cyrus Largy, the junior from Miramar, Florida, with the game's first foul.
As we look at that particular play, it was Samuels trying to keep it alive, and it went in and out.
Offensive foul by Swenson. The Hatters so far, 4 possessions, 4 turnovers.
And that's what happens when you have a guy that's so quick. Now he's gotten inside of Swenson's head a little, and Swenson's like, I'm going to just muscle you, and of course you just can't push a guy down, so it's a good call by the officials.
Not a good start on offense for either of these teams.
You have a couple of guys for the Eagles that have had some subpar performances the last few games, and this is one of them right there, Largy.
Here's Anderson, gets inside and shows a little patience as he scores. The 6'7" sophomore from not too far away from DeLand, out in Apopka.
Yes, I mean, he is the guy that's quick energy. He comes in, he's live legs, and he makes things happen for the Eagles.
Gives him about 4.5 points and 3 rebounds in 18 minutes, shoots the ball well. Tazos Cook into the game, and the Hatters are now 5 for 5, turning the ball over. Largy, coast to coast, he scores.
And that's going to help his confidence, because Largy is averaging 11 overall. But this is just what the doctor prescribed for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Getting off to a good start on the road. Rival game.
Josh Smith, first shot attempt of the night for the Hatters, and it's good.
I like that. I like that. He hit one like that the other night against Kennesaw. When you get him into the paint, he can do a nice turnaround. And I also said there's not a lot of shot blockers in the ASUN, but this is one tonight in Kevin Samuel.
Yeah, he averages nearly 3 blocks a game.
Oh, steps. Yeah, dragged that pivot foot.
They got him for
so
it.
Slightly.
Dunn Martin with the turnover.
Yeah. And I made the remark that, you know, Jawara and Smith, once you get the ball inside, just go straight up. Just go straight up because, you know, there's not a lot of shot blockers in the A-Sun. You have a few, and this is one of them.
There's the sixth turnover for the Hatters. Don Martin leading the break. Largy wide open for three. And that's a costly miss as Smith gets the rebound. Gotta have those.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Hatters, meanwhile, just have to hang on to the ball. 6 turnovers in 7 possessions. Now Smith, and he's drained the only 2 shots the Hatters have been able to get off. Big 3 to make it a 1-point game.
And when you talk about that other scorer, who is it going to be? Is it going to be Tumblin? You know it's Christian Jones. You know Chase Johnston can score. But who is that third person? I always say, you know, 2 is fine, but 3 is divine. You got to have 3 to get the job done.
Anderson off the back iron, and Weza Panzo just into the game, the junior, grabbing the rebound.
Great box out. And it's going to have to be rebounded by committee. No Jawara, one of the top rebounders, offensive rebounders at that, and just overall rebounders. His numbers are down this year.
Christian Jones baseline J. That's a miss, and Samuel gobbles up the board. Don Martin with pace, hurls it out to Cato for 3. And no good for Caleb Cato. The rebound is loose, out cold from the field. Evan Weston, Greg Turner here at the Edmunds Center. Big rivalry game in the A-Sun, and 2 teams that could really use a win. 1 and 3 both to start their conference seasons. Halverson off the bench, nails the 3. Yes, he is.
Shooter extraordinaire.
Matt Halverson, transfer from Western Carolina, a grad student. One of 3 that has really impacted FGCU, along with Don Martin and Samuel. Jones driving on Samuel, gets his own miss. 3rd try is no good. How about the 4th? That one doesn't even find the rim. And finally, Samuel comes down with the rebound. Now Don Martin in transition. Halverson again. Off the back iron this time, but an offensive rebound for Cato. Now it's Don Martin. Passes it up for Halverson. And that one clangs away. It's rebounded by Stetson's Giancarlo Valdez.
And not just any type of transfer from, you know, he's from Western Carolina to Cannabis, but he scored almost 1,400 points in his career. So one of the top 3-point shooters. That should have been a goaltending, but it went in anyway. But
it was an athletic move by Samuel just to get over there.
Yes.
It looked like the Red Sea had parted for Valdez, and then the ball fell in the cup anyway. Guess it was destiny.
And we talked about his shot blocking ability. I mean, he has 49 blocks coming into this game. He's had a couple here. The Hatters only have 41 as a team.
Valdez looking for a little revenge and instead fouls Kevin Samuel, but that's not the worst strategy against Mr. Samuel.
Not a very good free throw shooter. A very good pass by Caleb Cato, one of those veteran Eagles there, and beautiful pass.
I might be putting it lightly, Greg. He is a 32% free throw shooter.
Take a look at the big fella, 6'11", southpaw, another lefty.
He's got the Dwight Howard motion, or maybe the Shaq motion.
I talked about, again, how many left-handers I've seen all season, and here's another one. All the way from the island of Codrington Village in Antigua and Barbuda. So Codrington is on the island of Barbuda. So he's a long way away from home, even though he went to high school in Houston, Texas.
Raises his season average considerably with that 1-for-2 trip. There's Alex Crawford for 3 for Stetson. True freshman wing just off the bench here for the Hatters, but it's no good. Quick transition. Crawford altering the shot on defense, and the Hatters end up with it. It was Largy who took the shot for FGCU.
A lot of skin, but the officials will play on, and you see already Florida Gulf Coast, they're trying to push the pace.
Valdez hurls it to Jones in the corner for 3. In and out rebound Samuel.
But you just won't be able to win a basketball game or win a lot of them. It's just shooting around the perimeter. I know the Hatters are down personnel-wise, but you're still going to have to find a way to get some buckets inside the paint.
Don Martin, step back 3. It's good.
Hey.
Tavian Don Martin, one of the A-Sun's leading scorers, with his first triple of the night, and FGCU, just like that, has their largest lead of the game.
And you know, when you play a lot of basketball like he has, you know, he's thinking about the performance, the subpar performance the other night. And there was a good kind of a pick and roll, and Dunn Martin got caught with the larger individual, and that would be anybody on the floor right now is probably bigger than he is. But there's the pick and roll, and there's he had to foul.
Probably good decision, in
Good
fact.
foul to foul Alex Crawford, because that would have been 2 points.
First on Dunn Martin, second on the Eagles. Now Johnson misses, but it's cleaned up by Jones, the grad senior. Christian Jones with his first 2 of the night. That's the first 2 for either Jones or Johnston. They need those 2 guys to step up with their top scorer, Rob Perry, ineligible and not playing tonight.
And however those points are going to come, offensive rebound, steals, you want those points, manufacture some points, because you just can't win straight from the perimeter. And there's another perimeter shot there by another guy that's very capable of transfer, Mr. Austin Ritchie, all the way from Tulsa.
That is 4th college Ritchie.
Yeah.
He's very young and old, taking in Stetson and FGCU.
Well, that's a new right there.
Yeah. Imagine this is her first Stetson FGCU game. 33rd all-time meeting between these 2 teams. Franco Miller Jr. off the bench shoots a 3 for Florida Gulf Coast. No good. Weza Panzo fouled as he snags the rebound. That'll be on Matt Halverson, his first. 3rd team foul on Florida Gulf Coast.
Donnie Jones is talking to Giancarlo Valdez, says, no, don't swipe at the basketball. Come back and try to get it with 2 hands. You have to have rebound by committee with this team tonight for the Hatters.
Stephon Swenson back in at point guard. Valdez is on the floor as well, so the Hatters have both of their point guards in the game. Here is Valdez. The Hatters not getting a whole lot of spacing right now. Jones driving, just forcing it his own way, but they call an offensive foul.
Tough call, but a great move there by Christian Jones.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it looks like he jumped away from.
Could have been an and 1 easily.
Was it Luis Rolon?
Yeah, Rolon was the one who drew the contact
charge
there for the Eagles. The sophomore out of Puerto Rico. Here is Rolon.
He had a pretty good game the other night in the loss to Liberty.
He did. He got a lot of minutes.
Yep, quality
24 minutes.
And he's in for his playmaking ability.
And he is not a scorer. He's going to try a 3. Well, he makes me eat my words right there. How about that? Just the 5th 3-pointer made this year by Luis Rolon.
But that's confidence, carried over from one game to the next. A lot of minutes, and he played a lot of minutes a couple of years ago.
Weza Panzo not even close with the response, and Florida Gulf Coast now on an 8-2 run to open up a lead here. Goes inside to Andre Weir, and he's tapped. And they're going to get Crawford for his 2nd foul.
Yeah, this is a team right now for the Hatters. There's no room for error. I mean, there cannot be guys leaking out, not trying to come back. 5 guys rebound. You can't be going for steals in the passing lanes. You're going to have to play straight up team defense.
Josh Smith back in, and Smith immediately gets a hand in on that. Panzo, though, misses, trying to recover the fumble.
And those 50-50 balls, you got to have them. You got to have those.
Rolon again.
Rolon says, that's for you, Evan Weston.
Listen, maybe I should say some more negative things. He'll score even more points. 6 for Rolon. There's Smith crashing in and slamming down the miss by Swenson.
Mr. Josh Smith. Hello.
Trying to keep this team in this game now with Florida Gulf Coast starting to hit from outside. They've made 5 of their last 8 threes.
And I'm not so sure I would not press the whole game. At least a 3/4 court press to keep teams honest.
Ritchie, that one too strong. And
that's going to be on Josh Smith.
It is on the rebound. That's 16 fouls on the Hatters. Smith's first.
You have some big individuals in the game for Florida Gulf Coast. And here's another one that comes in right now, Andre Weir, who's 6'10", 6'11", and there's the push in the back.
They list Weir as 6'10", 265. He was at Richmond last year, didn't play, so he's a redshirt freshman.
And that transfer portal, you know, that free agency at its best.
A lot of varied takes on that. I love it.
I don't have an issue with it at all.
I think it's great that the kids have a little bit more agency in where they go. Dunn-Martin inside to Weir, who puts it in off the window. There you go, Andre Weir with his first 2 of the night.
And Weir feels like he should play more. But when you have Kevin Samuel in front of you, but he's going to play more.
He's going to play a lot more next year. But,
but as this conference play goes on, I mean, you look for him to have more minutes.
Keith Lamar in for the Hatters. Rangy wing. Here goes Tumblin inside. That's no good. Smith, after a couple tries, gets the rebound.
Got to go up with that, Josh. You're right under the basket.
Well, he wants the 3 from the corner. That's off the glass. It'll go the other way. And that's on Tumblin, and that'll put FGCU in the bonus for the rest of this first half. Albin's first, true freshman out of Sebring.
Yeah, Josh Smith made a great offensive rebound, but you got to go right back up with that. Weir is in the game at 6'10", but you can get your shot off, even if it takes a pump fake. And those possessions are valuable. An offensive rebound at that for this undersized and undermanned Hatter team.
Well, they're going to call it a loose ball foul, so it'll be a 1-and-1 here for Austin Ritchie, the senior. Mentioned he was on it. Oh, they're going to have Cato shoot him.
They may look at this.
Yeah. Ritchie was going to shoot, then they put Cato on the line, and now the officials are going to try and figure out. We're talking about Ritchie. I should let you know the schools he was at, because I mentioned a few times he started at Northern Illinois, then played a JUCO year at Triton College in River Grove, Illinois, then went to Tulsa, and now is a senior at FGCU.
Much like at the top of the telecast, we talked about our key player, Tavian Dunn-Martin. I mean, he started out at Akron, Duquesne.
Cato, who is shooting the 1-and-1, he is a longtime FGCU player.
Yes,
in his 4th year, and he misses the front end of it. He's a 75% free throw shooter for the years. That's a break for Stetson.
And he had a very good game against Liberty. He had 23 points. I mean, the previous 4 games, he had 24 combined.
Yeah, he couldn't miss. He was 5 of 6 from 3 in that game. As he got a foul this time on Roland.
I think they're a much better team when he's more aggressive offensively. But this year, he's taking a more backseat role. His assists are up. You know, he's doing all the intangibles.
Still shooting over 40% from 3 after that big night against the Flames.
And a veteran, just a veteran performer. Guy you like to have on your team.
Swenson just jacks up the 3 off the back iron. Smith goes out to get the offensive rebound. Got to take advantage of these second chance opportunities. Swenson getting inside, runs into a wall of blue jerseys. Now Johnston just triggers it. That one didn't have much of a prayer even for Johnston, but another offensive rebound. Swenson's floater, that falls through.
Got it to go.
Iwara missing out tonight with a minor injury, and so the shorthanded Hatter team has had to deal with a motivated Florida Gulf Coast side that is coming off a brutally heartbreaking loss against Liberty over the weekend, trying to get their groove back. Samuel tripped up by Smith, and he's a little shaken up, holding that left arm as he goes to the ground. It'll be the second foul on Josh Smith.
Very good design play by Michael Fly out of the timeout. They actually ran everybody away from the bucket and had a one-on-one situation to throw it over the top. Josh Smith kind of got entangled, and Samuel, that left hand is vital for this free throw attempt because he's left-handed. Leading the ASUN in rebounding, almost 10 a game. He was actually 3rd in the Big 12 last year in rebounding and led the Big 12 in block shots. So he's no stranger to operating inside, and a career 65% field goal shooter. So you know what that means. Everything's right around the bucket.
He shoots twice as well from the floor as he does from the free throw line. And he does go 1 for 2 again, so 2 out of 4 tonight for Samuel from the line.
Well, the former Horned Frog, he probably would say, the field goals I take are 3 and 4 feet.
Well, hey, look, the field goals count for 2. The free throws count for 1. So he's picked the right thing to be good at, if you have to pick one. There's a foul. Officials calling a lot tonight. That's the 13th foul of the game. They'll get Anderson there.
Anderson trying to turn up the defensive pressure. Got a little too close. Now let's see what the Hatters can do offensively.
Keith Lamar, little floater, offensive foul.
I mean, good idea, but you just can't take the ball on 1 or 2 dribbles 15 feet from the basket and try to jump. You know, guys are taught, they do this every day at practice. So, you know, that's where you have to have that pull-up. But the inexperience of Lamar, not being able to play a lot of minutes last year, that's where you have that nice pull-up mid-range game you got to work on.
Dunmartin a little bit short. Offensive rebound for FGCU. Now he'll try from downtown, and he knocks it through.
And it just kills you whenever you get more than one opportunity at the basket. That happens.
Hatters Tumblin.
It's a Tumblin.
Put back dunk for Alvin Tumblin. And the Hatters hanging in there. Can they get a little bit closer?
The human pogo stick, Alvin Tumblin. High energy guy for the Hatters.
And a foul. That'll be on the Eagles. That's going to be
Weza Panzo there.
Roland committing the foul. Or excuse me, Weza Panzo for the Hatters.
He's trying to, he's holding Samuel with the left hand.
So this is 2 double bonus free throws for Samuel. FGCU in the double bonus with 6.5 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah.
And now you're seeing the effect of Jawara being out because they can get the ball inside far more effectively. Yeah, that players are reacting as if it was a 1-and-1, but that is a 2-shot double bonus foul.
A decided advantage inside for the Eagles, taking advantage of the size and the undermanned Hatters, but Samuel is a very good passer out of the post as well. So if the Hatters do decide to double team him, he's very adept at making a good pass. Christian Jones is going to go to the line here. This is where his game is much, I think this is what the Hatters need, for him to take the ball to the basket. And those opportunities have been few and far and in between, but you can't settle for those 25 feet jump shots. I'd rather him taking it in mid-range games or going all the way to the rack if he can get there.
And a rare missed free throw for Jones, who is a 76% free throw shooter this year. That was the first foul on Samuel, who's very good at avoiding foul trouble for a player that plays the way he does at his size. He plays almost 30 minutes a night. And when you have a big guy that can be as impactful as he is and stay on the floor, just adds so much. They're going to put him on the bench here, and Weir gets the rebound as Jones misses both free throws. Hatters are 0 for 2 now. Those are their first 2 shots from the free throw line tonight.
Ooh, beautiful
Great pass by Dunmartin, and Weir puts it in.
That was unbelievable.
Wow, there's a reason he's leading the league in assists.
And getting inside the defense. The Hatters had an issue with Terrell Burton for Kennesaw State, who got inside the paint. And this guy is even quicker than Terrell Burton.
Tumblin thought about it a little too long. That is the 10th turnover of the half for the Stetson Hatters.
If we get an opportunity to take a look at that bounce pass by TDM, Tavian Dunmartin, it was something special. But that's all happened because he broke down your defense. He got inside the paint. And when that happens, nothing good for your defense happens.
Turnover by FGCU. That looked like it was falling apart for a few seconds before it did. And then Valdez sneaks under Weir.
Nice take, Valdez. He saw the smaller Dunmartin. He says, I'm taking this all the way. There's no way you're going to be able to block the shot. Good hustle by the Eagles, but nice quick release.
lobbed into Weir, and he draws the foul. 2 shots coming for Andre Weir. It's the first foul on Johnston. The good news for Stetson is that they've spread the foul trouble out quite a bit. Only Smith and Crawford have more than 1 foul. Each of them have 2.
We take a look at Andre Weir from Hollywood, Florida, redshirt freshman.
9 of 13 at the line this season. You're right, he has certainly made the case for more minutes with his play. 3.5 points, 2.7 rebounds. Doesn't look like a lot, but he's only playing 8-9 minutes a night.
Right, and that's some good stat line for that amount of time of being in a basketball game.
He misses both. Panzo the rebound for Stetson, so neither teams. Yeah, neither team should. FGCU is 2 for 9 at the line tonight.
And Christian Jones normally makes his free throws as on a cold streak, but there's Tumblin.
A rare 3 for Alvin Tumblin, but he can knock him down. He's 4 for 10 from out there.
Yeah, don't tell him he can't shoot from outside.
Maybe I should. He'll make some more.
But he is not shy. He's more of a slasher and getting to the basket, a rim runner kind of guy, but he's saying I can knock down a 3.
Dunmartin with a response.
And you just knew Dunmartin was not going to have a back-to-back subpar game. I mean, he's had 2 subpar games, but a third one.
He was 2 for 17 on Saturday. He's 4 for 6 tonight with 11 points here in the first half. Right back to his usual self. Jones driving, mid-range J, that's in and out. And usually goes down for Christian. Referees finally decide it will go the other way.
Yeah, it looks like the last person touched it was an eagle, but the officials conferred with one another, as they should do, and made the call. But that's a good shot by Christian Jones. I mean, it was a mid-range shot, but you just can't rush it. Travel there by Largy. And Largy, again, is trying to do a little bit too much. And he's another guy trying to rebound off of some subpar performances. I mentioned he averages 11, but in conference play, which is the tail of the tape, Evan, what you do in conference play, he's averaging 6 points a game. So he's trying to get back on the right track.
Tumblin backing the larger Weir down and scoring over him. 7 points in the first half for Alvin Tumblin.
Much quicker. He's much quicker to the jump. And able to get that shot off using his quickness.
Tremendous athlete, Tumblin.
Yes, he is.
He gets up over the top of Weir. Now Weir gets triple teamed and Tumblin steals. Let's see if Alvin goes instead. He passes to Jones, and Jones scores. And it's a single-digit lead for FGCU just like that.
And this is what I mean by your defense. You have to hang your hat on defense because it's going to manufacture some points for you, which are hard to come by in the half-court set for the Hatters.
Hatters have made 5 of their last 6 shots. Halverson to shut down the run. He missed it.
Oh, that's a push-off.
And it was in.
He's hit a rough patch starting with the last game at Kennesaw State. Let's see if he can get out of that. And anytime you can score some baskets out of the half-court set with the Hatters being down 1,000-point score in Rob Perry and your inside presence of Jawara, you got to take advantage of it. That means free throws, fast break points.
Well, he makes both there. They're within 7. This is as close as they've been since about the 13-minute mark. Dunmartin, he's got 11, off to a good start tonight. Dunmartin gets his way to the cup. He is getting anything he wants right now. Tavian Dunmartin with 13 points.
And easier said than done is when I say contain him because he is super quick.
Johnston, his first 3 of the night. What a time for it. Hatters are suddenly red hot. It's a 6-point game.
Anywhere inside this 94 by 50 rectangle, that young man has the green light to shoot the basketball. And that young man has a green light to shoot it as well.
For good reason. Halverson with a deep triple to answer right back and quiet this crowd. And it is maybe the biggest crowd of the year that I've seen, even on a Tuesday night.
I believe it is.
This game always draws, and FGCU travels pretty well, too. About a 4-hour drive up from Fort Myers. Here goes Valdez. Jones, try a three. One trailed off, and Halverson with the rebound. Roland throws it out. Dunmartin,
nice
extra
ball
pass.
movement.
Halverson drills the three.
Beautiful
Just
ball
like that,
movement.
FGCU up 12.
That's a veteran performance right there. Together, you're talking about almost 220 games between those two guys that know how to play basketball. Dunmartin could have very well shot that, but he made the one extra pass.
Johnston with the answer.
Wow, under duress, long range.
Yeah, less than no room there, and he somehow finagled it in. Well, this game has opened up in a big way here.
If you're the Eagles, you want to go away in this half with a good taste in your mouth. You want something positive.
Hatters.
You don't want that.
They get the stop.
But there's
then they give it away.
One of the top thieves in the ASUN.
Halverson, another one.
And talking about good taste in your mouth. And I talked about the Hatters being able to control the basketball, not make those unforced errors. It's been that's what's hurt them this first half.
And that's something of a backbreaker there. They got the stop,
yes,
got the ball back, and then lost it. And Halverson has made 3 straight three-pointers to get FGCU back to a dozen.
And credit Dunmartin with finding him.
Jones, shot clock's winding down. He's not going to get this off.
You know, a 10-point game. But the Hatters have shown some light.
Dunmartin loses it. Ritchie throws it up. It's good!
And that's been tough sledding half-court wise.
Start of the second half, and the Hatters will look to respond after that really tough way to end the first 20 minutes with those 4 straight threes by FGCU.
You have to grinding your way back into the basketball game, but those loose balls, you got to come up with those like
they
so.
did. Yeah, that's the first 50-50 ball they've had in a while, and Christian Jones ends up the beneficiary. Good hustle play there by Josh Smith to toss that up to him after picking the ball up, and the Hatters get a key score on their first possession. Caleb Cato misses, and the Hatters with a score and stop to begin the second half. Got to start somewhere.
And Coach Michael Fly plays a lot of players, so you have to be ready when your number is called. And sometimes that's tough on players in terms of their continuity and being in a basketball game, being the flow of a game. But they practice that way, so you have to be prepared.
Jones again squeezes it in. Jones is out to 10 points.
And that's
it's
a big
great start
big
for the
time
Hatters
move.
here.
Big time move, taking it to the basket, and a nice stop, jump away from the defender and lay it up with his left hand.
Great cut by Largy, but he can't finish off the top of the glass. Now Jones is out behind everybody. Jones lays it in. He's got all 6 to start the half, and just like that, it's a 9-point game.
And what did I talk about? Defense. Defense.
Done courtesy of some good defense and Christian Jones, who has all 6 of those points. 9-point game here. Caleb Cato off the inbound, can't get it to go, and the Hatters get another stop. Now with some renewed vigor, they take it up the floor. Stefan Swenson to Alvin Tumblin. Hatters will be forced to back out as FGCU gets back on defense.
You had Josh Smith. Had his man pinned a smaller Cato.
Well, there goes Swenson.
But Swenson taking it right to the basket. And I know he wanted that back because he missed Josh Smith inside.
How about this from Stetson? All 4 of their shots here have gone in the second half. Now Samuel gets bumped. No bucket. There's a foul against Jones, his second. First foul of the second half for either team.
Well, the sooner you come to the realization that, you know, nobody's going to feel sorry for you that you're down in personnel, you know, then you come together as a team and say, we got to do this together.
How about that? The proverbial stopper.
And good answer.
Tavian Dunmartin, who had 13 in the first half on just 7 shots, hits a big 3 right there to stop the bleeding for the Eagles. Josh Smith to respond. Drills it. 10 for Smith, and the Hatters right back within 7.
And good recognition there by Swenson.
Stetson's made 9 of their last 10 shots overall. They have not missed yet in the second half. Dunn Martin, so quick. Cut off by Tumblin. Now Anderson. They circle it to the corner. Dunn Martin couldn't get free. And then Cato is fouled. Bailed out a little bit there by Stefan Swenson, who commits his second personal.
And that's the 4-out, 1-in type offense where you dribble in the gaps. This was really made by our good friend Rick, not Rick Pitino, but the Kentucky coach now, Calipari. He's the guy that really started that dribble in the gaps, the 4-out and 1-in, and that's the offense you're seeing right there. And that's what happens when you are so keyed in on trying to, it's like a shell drill, you know, trying to keep the guy out of the lane. Then all of a sudden, a guy goes baseline on you and score.
It's a nice take there by Cyrus Largy, who's been struggling in conference play. It's continued tonight. Tumblin with the response. FGCU right now just can't get a stop.
And that's where Alvin Tumblin excels, I believe, in his game in terms of what he does best is slashing and getting to the rack, because he has that leaping ability to be able to finish.
Cato throws it away, but
yeah.
Yep, he did. Nobody on the Hatters touched it.
Samuel, it was the pass to Kevin Samuel, but he wasn't ready for it. That was, it had a little spice on it.
Stetson has not had a possession that did not end in points so far in the second half.
And
Swenson.
that's amazing.
Smith, top of the key 3. Jones looking for the offensive rebound, and I have jinxed them as the run finally comes to an end. Not for lack of a good shot. It was an open 3 for Smith. There's Samuel with a jump hook.
Big time jump hook by the big fella, but credit Caleb Cato for pushing the pace, drawing a defender, and a nice dump off, and the big fella knew exactly what to do with it.
Halverson to the scorer's table for Florida Gulf Coast. He had those 3 back-to-back-to-back triples to put them back ahead.
Yes, yes. Bang out.
There it is. Josh Smith, you saw it coming the whole way.
Yes, I did.
Right?
Because when he got it initially, he did a pump fake, and Kevin Samuel kind of went for it. So he thought, man, hey, I should be able to take him off the dribble. And yes, you should.
Cato near
3 double-double games this year. So he is a very capable guy of putting up numbers like that. And he could be that 3rd guy that Hatters need.
That's a great take there by Largy, who's out to 6 points with that one, and FGCU with a good play out of the timeout.
Strong move by Largy.
Eagles are up 15 at halftime. That is down to 9. Stetson red hot to start the second half. Florida Gulf Coast starting to get their sea legs under them on offense as well. This has been a shootout. Tumblin driving on Anderson. Tumblin puts it in. Anderson didn't put up much of a fight there. 11 from Alvin Tumblin.
Alvin Tumblin is so quick, and he's using his quickness to get to the rack, and also his ability to jump over defenders.
Largy feeling good. Misses off the back iron. Rebound Jones. Hatters have not been within 6 since the very early part of the game. They got a chance to do that here. Swenson driving. Swenson goes all the way and gets fouled.
And nice take by Swenson. He knew that Halverson defense, that's not his forte. So he says, I'm going to press the issue. Had him up top. Once he got that left shoulder by him, he was able to get to the rack and get fouled. Now you're going to have to cash in on the free throw line. And Florida Gulf Coast, they are switching on everything. So you have to be aware of that if you're the Hatters. And if you're the Eagles, you got to be ready to sometimes take on a bigger opponent.
Swenson coming in 9 out of 13 at the line, makes his first. And Donnie Jones has got to be pleased with this effort here because, again, with the way the first half ended, this could have easily gone the way it did on Saturday, where Stetson came out just extremely flat in the second half. Scored only 14 points the whole period.
Yeah, well, it's all about defense. I mean, because that's something that you can't pick up a player on the waiver wires, you know. So, what's the one thing that you can change? Effort and defense, and the guys are going to have to coach them up. Donnie Jones and his staff, and there it is, manufacturing your own opportunities.
How about Jones there helping on Samuel to create the turnover? Now Johnston Tumblin catches it under the rim. Jones now off the back iron, and a big man rebound by Anderson.
It was in between two Hatters.
Dunn Martin.
But you can't forget about him.
Ooh, in and out. Finally missed one. Jones with a big outlet pass to Swenson. Three-point game.
One of the very few clean, fast breaks for the Hatters, because the #1 priority is rebounding the basketball first. You can't run if you don't have the basketball.
How about this, Greg? They scored 14 points in the second half on Saturday. They've scored 21 points in the first 6.5 minutes of the second half tonight.
And that game Saturday, I have to give credit again to Kennesaw State. At times it looked as if it was 10 black jerseys on the floor. I mean, they were playing at such a high rate and high intensity level. So
Dunn Martin trying to get his team going again. Halverson with a corner three. That's no good. Look at Tumblin going up for the board. Hatters out of the break again. Jones!
Beautiful. Oh, you got to make that.
In.
You got to make that. Maybe he looked out the corner of his eye and you had Chase Johnston. Oh, what a
And it leads to points on the other end. It's Anderson throwing it down from Dunn Martin.
Zach Anderson. They're saying, hold on a minute. Frantic pace. And it's more of a Florida Gulf Coast pace, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they like to run. Stetson has been one of the slower teams in the country this year. As Johnston misses the runner, tapped out to Jones. Smith again making an impact. Johnston from the corner. Off the back iron, and Samuel there this time. Dunn Martin, he's running. FGCU has numbers. Halverson down to the baseline for Largy, who lays it in.
And Swenson was there. You got to take that charge. Maybe he didn't have the position, but credit Florida Gulf Coast for pushing the pace and finding the right man. Halverson knew he's made a couple, so they ran at him. He made a nice pass.
Tumblin wide open for three. And didn't barely scratch the rim there. Dunn Martin again, he's just pushing the tempo relentlessly, and he gets fouled. He'll go to the line.
And you talk about from end to end, one of the quickest guys in the ASUN, along with McGee and Terrell Burton. And those guys can get from end to end in probably 3 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, let's be frank. Darius McGee's going to be the league player of the year. He's just scored 48 points against FGCU at Alico. It's an ASUN record, and this is not a young conference. It's been around for a long time.
And the most points by any collegiate player on the Division I level this year.
Yeah,
I mean, then he had a 41-point game against Stanford.
I mean, it's more likely that he's an All-American than anybody else wins Conference Player of the Year. But let's not take away from Dunn Martin's accomplishments. He averaged 19 and 6 assists as a 5'8" guard in this league. He is an extremely impressive player.
And sometimes when you're new to a league, you know, it takes people a while to see you and see what you do best. And, you know, he ran up to a buzzsaw a couple of, you know, games where he didn't have such good games, because maybe he started feeling good about himself. Hey, I can do whatever in this league, but no, you got to be able to bring it every night.
Well, FGCU is starting to settle down here. Rodon with the interception. Eagles on a 6-0 run, and they've got the ball back. Here is Dunn Martin with 18 points tonight. Step back, long range 2, in and out. Jones going up for the rebound, saves it. I think he might have gotten it anyway, but he takes no chances. And now Jones coming back, trailing with the 3. In and out. Hatters have gone cold from downtown.
Not a good shot on that possession. You work so hard to get that possession, and now you come down, and you know, this was a, what, 6-point game?
It's a 3-point game.
It's a 3-point game, yeah. A minute or two ago. So those possessions are magnified, and you have to be able to take advantage of them.
Rodon down the baseline, lost the handle, and Tumblin will come up with a loose ball. FGCU starting to turn it over quite a bit here in the second half. Now Johnston down the lane.
That's where his game has improved. He knows I'm a very good shooter, but I have to be able to keep the defenses honest. Everybody is running at him as he runs to that spot, so now he's taking the ball to the basket.
Dunn Martin misses from the corner. Ball drops to Samuel. Throws it up, not even close, and the rebound by Smith.
And everyone is probably winded right now. You can look at the guys on both teams.
Hatters slow the pace a little bit. They trail by 7. Tumblin driving on Samuel. Big block by Kevin Samuel. Hatters get it back.
He beat him to the bucket, but he did not lose him, so credit Samuel.
They get it back to Tumblin. No opposition this time. A career high 13 points for Alvin Tumblin.
And Giancarlo Valdez, that's what he does so well when he takes care of the basketball. He can make those great passes for you. He's a very good creator.
No turnovers in 14 minutes tonight for Valdez. And a foul on the floor here against Chase Johnston. That'll be his the last decade. Went to the Sweet 16 in 2013 with that famous Dunk City team. Won 3 conference titles out of 5 years. But these games are always close, and no exception tonight. Caleb Cato, off a 23-point performance on Saturday, has a goose egg tonight as he misses that one. And Stetson with the ball, down by just 5 after they trailed by 15 at halftime.
Well, you know, programs are built on talent acquisition. Sometimes they survive off of reputation. Yes, this is not a Dunk City type of ball club, but it's a very good ball club which has some quality wins this year.
Oh, I think the Hatters might have gotten away with one there. I think Tumblin touched that last, but they're going to say that he did not, and it stays with Stetson with 6 on the shot clock.
I mean, Florida Gulf Coast have had a stellar non-conference, season this year, and that's catapulted them in what they thought was going to be getting off to a great conference play.
They did have a injury to Dakota Rivers, which cost them some size.
Yeah.
And then again, just 3 really tough losses. They were 10-3 just before Christmas. They lost an overtime game to Canisius. Then they lost on a buzzer beater at Jacksonville a couple of weeks ago. And then that Liberty game where they led the league champions by 9 at Alico Arena at halftime. But then Darius McGee just swallowed them whole in the second half.
I mean, their best, Giancarlo, long 3.
Tumblin, he nearly got in there, but he's not able to hold on to it. But how about Tumblin tonight? 13 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals for him.
Human pogo stick.
Yeah, he's got some serious hops, doesn't he?
But Michael Fly wanted to have a good non-conference schedule, and then they ended up having their best non-conference record ever.
Roland, what a take to the hoop. Luis Roland with 8 points. He is earning those minutes that Michael Fly has given him.
I mean, he looked like one of the guys at the over 40 leagues in the YMCA, man, with that move.
Are you speaking from personal experience?
No, no. Roland is...
Alverson, he missed the corner 3. Johnston chases down the rebound.
But Roland is coming off a knee injury, so he's kind of put on a few LBs, but still able to be effective.
Johnston deep 3. Got it!
That's out by the 5-second line. Past the 5-second line.
Well, you said it. Anywhere in the 94 by 50, he is a threat.
And has that green light to let it go.
3 out of 6 tonight from back there. 11 points. Hatters within 4. Here's Cato. Mid-range jump shot is good. His first points tonight couldn't have come at a better time for FGCU.
Another veteran performer. Caleb Cato, been around a lot of years.
Hanzo nails the left wing 3. That's his favorite shot, and it's a 3-point game.
Nobody beats the West when he gets those feet set. Catch and shoot extraordinaire.
7th made 3 of the night for Stetson. Within a possession now, Roland to an open Austin Ritchie. Off the back iron, Cato gets a piece of the rebound, hurling it in towards Weir. Valdez fights and Tumblin wins it. Tumblin falls to Jones, desperately trying to avoid falling to 1-4 in the conference after a 10-4 non-conference season. Caleb Cato with it for FGCU, out to Zach Anderson, who hits an open 3. What a huge shot for FGCU coming out of the timeout.
And a well-designed play where you bring a player, this time it was Cato, off of the double screen, and he just keeps going. And then defense collapse, he finds the open guy, he knocks the shot down, Zach Anderson.
Smith fadeaway, Jay falls off the front iron. That time they helped out Samuel on Josh Smith. They're paying a lot of attention to him.
And the Hatters have been unable to guard that double screen off the move, and now it's just a pick and roll.
Smith getting a hand in there, but Samuel comes away with it. They move it around to Canto for three. That's no good. Rebound snared by Johnston.
Good defensive series there for the Hatters. Not exactly what Florida Gulf Coast wanted.
Game slowing down a little bit after the timeout. I wonder if everybody's just a little bit gassed at the pace this thing has been played at. Stetson's already scored more points in the second half than they did in the first. Shot clock down to 8. Valdez on the drive. Lays off to Smith, who forces it in. 14 for Josh Smith.
The defensive casualty is Roland. He's unable to move. And Valdez getting by him and making a nice pass.
Yeah, when does Dunn-Martin get back into this game here for Florida Gulf Coast? Meanwhile, Roland draws the foul.
But Valdez has to understand that he's going right every single play. But credit Valdez, Roland, for using that body and just getting that shoulder, left shoulder by.
Roland misses the first.
Yeah, Dunn-Martin, looks like there he is.
Yep, and here he comes.
Into the game.
Roland makes the second. FGCU is 4 for 13 from the free throw line tonight.
And
Roland, though, with 9 points after that make, and here comes
huge minutes.
Yep,
huge minutes.
Tavian Dunn-Martin.
And quality minutes. But now Dunn-Martin is in for the stretch run.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be coming back out. Here's Panzo, left wing three to tie it. That's no good.
You rushed that just a bit, had a big 6'11" guy coming at you. Costly possessions. The Hatters are walking away with nothing, so every possession is huge.
FGCU has led this wire to wire. Dunn-Martin chased out. Anderson.
And Coach Jones thought it was a travel.
And a foul on a three, and a little bit of a cynical play there by Dunn-Martin, but it'll get him 3 shots. I don't think he had any intention of actually putting that on target.
Yeah, we take a look at it here. He reaches in, and you can't foul a jump shooter.
I don't know that he's shooting when the contact happens, Greg.
Yeah.
He goes up once he feels the contact.
Yep. Looks like he made the shooting motion, and the officials right there decided that yes, he's in the shooting motion. But
well, that's 7
something
fouls
you don't
here.
see. You don't see in the NBA.
Yeah.
Now, they've cleaned that up a lot.
Yes, they have. It has badly harmed the Brooklyn Nets.
Wow. Yes. Yes. And Dunn-Martin misses the second.
Yeah, he is the second best free throw shooter in the A-Sun, behind only Stetson's Rob Perry, who of course is out tonight. 87% on the year for Dunn-Martin. He goes 2 out of 3. He's got 20 points. And the lead back out to 5 for the Eagles.
And the Hatters need something good on offense here. And if you're the Eagles, you want to play straight up defense. They've been switching everything. Let's see if the Hatters can get a mismatch.
Swenson spins off of Dunn-Martin, and Largy picks it off. Dunn-Martin, transition 3, that's good.
May need a timeout here if you're Coach Jones.
Tavian Dunn-Martin comes off the bench and makes a huge impact, 23 points. Hatters are gonna play it. Lead back out to 8 for Florida Gulf Coast. Jones to Tumblin, open in the corner for 3. It's good.
Big shot, and a good pass out by Christian Jones. Thought about putting it up, but then he looked and saw Tumblin wide open in the corner.
Easily the best game in the young career of the true freshman Alvin Tumblin, 16 points. Cato, turnaround jumper, no good, and there's Big Tumblin, the sky up there for the rebound.
And hung in the air like 2 or 3 seconds.
It is amazing, his body control. What an athlete, a human pogo stick. Had a little pick and roll, now it's out to Smith.
Swenson has missed a couple tonight. Ordinarily he does not. There was a pick and roll, and he had Tumblin wide open. Whoa.
Put Samuel on the deck, spins off him with a jumper, it's good.
And he
Season high 10 points for Swenson.
And he had to atone for that missing. And Swenson, that knee buckled on that.
Just really could use this win in their final divisional games until the middle of February, when they'll meet again on February 12th. Both teams at 1-3 in the league.
But this is where divisional play is beneficial for you if you are struggling. Had it been just one conference play, then you'd be way at the bottom and you'd be way out already. But now you're only 2.5 games out of first place.
Oh my goodness, Don Martin.
And that young man is as good as advertised. That's 26 points for him. Now he has 3 games. He's gone over 30 points this year. So
yeah, but we talked about it coming off of that woeful performance he had over the weekend against Liberty. What a bounce back he needed. He's delivered. And then Samuel blocks it into the Hatter bench off of Swenson.
And there's the luxury of having a shot blocker. And of course, Tavion Dunn-Martin gets beat. Sometimes he's, you know, obviously he's 5'8", so a little muscle there with Swenson to be able to get by. But there you have your big brother back there waiting to help you out.
It's the starters for both teams here in crunch time. Johnston steps into a 3. That's good.
Boy,
that
just
very confident.
Beautiful, man. That guy, I mean, Chase Johnston, it doesn't take but a second, man, to release it. Take a look at it here. Pass around the perimeter. He makes one dribble, and that's just beautiful.
Donnie Jones calling timeout here. 3-point game. FGCU has not trailed. They've led wire to wire. Hatters have been as close as 1. They were down 15 at halftime, Greg. And no matter how this last 2:30 goes, there's something to be said for the heart of this Stetson team here in the second half in front of their biggest crowd of the year.
And Donnie Jones wants to talk about defense. You know, these last few possessions, you know, they've been scrambling. No one has where their man is. They've had to help so much, and they've had to help because they have not contained the dribbler. Early on, it was Luis Roland getting inside. And when a guy gets inside your defense, you know, there's problems for you. And Tavion Dunn-Martin is one of those guys that can do it, too, for the Eagles. So he talked about defense on that timeout.
Fun to look at the stats here. Dunn-Martin has carried FGCU here, 26 points. 5 Hatters are in double figures, led by Tumblin's career-high 16.
And only Halverson, the other Eagle, in double figures.
And
got away with a travel there.
That was all in the first half. And we got a foul against Florida Gulf Coast. It looked like they were thinking about it for a little bit, and they get Largy for the offensive foul.
Yeah, first he gets away with steps here, I think. But then there's the left arm that wards off, and good position defense by the Hatters. Just like Coach Jones drew it up.
Yeah. Second foul on Largy. Now Swenson for the tie. Got it! Stefan Swenson ties the game for the Hatters. They trailed for 37.5 minutes. All knotted up at 78 here inside the Edmunds Center. Don Martin on the ball for Florida Gulf Coast. Popped up, stolen. Swenson got his hands on it. Smith comes down with the basketball.
Defense has got the Hatters back into this basketball game. Now you want a quality possession.
Swenson lobs it into Tumblin. Backing down, Dunn-Martin for the lead. He scores! Alvin Tumblin puts the Hatters ahead for the first time tonight with 90 seconds to go. Timeout, Michael Fly.
2 possessions earlier, he missed.
And Dunn-Martin to give them something here.
And Halverson is checked into the game.
Back into the game for Largy. Hatter fans on their feet. FGCU trailing for the first time tonight. Dunn-Martin loses the basketball. Swenson knocked it away from him. And Johnston with a veteran move saying, let's slow this thing down now. We've got the lead.
And there's where being 5'8", 155 did not pay off for you. He ran into a staunch Stefan Swenson.
Swenson gets around him. Swenson blocked by Samuel. Halverson can't hang on to it. It'll stay with the Hatters with 10 to shoot.
And Swenson was really trying to lob it up to Tumblin.
Yep. And it looks like Donnie Jones is going to use his second to last timeout here. Each coach has 1 left.
But good hustle there by both teams. Is actually when Swenson got inside, he had Tumblin on his hip. and he tried to make one more floating pass, but against Samuel, credit the big fella coming in to deflect that pass, and then he tried to punch it to his teammate, couldn't quite get to it.
Hatters 51 seconds from their biggest win of the season. Down 15 at halftime. Without two of their core players tonight in Rob Perry and Mohamedou Jawara, they have a chance to right the ship on their season in the course of 20 minutes of basketball.
A lot of basketball left, a lifetime when you're talking about 51 seconds. But it's incumbent upon both of these teams, more so right now, Florida Gulf Coast, to be able to use the time that they're going to have the basketball wisely. So the last thing you need if you're the Eagles to come up with an offensive rebound here and another possession by the Hatters.
Swenson to Tumbling.
Oh, bang out.
Samuel!
Oh, the big fella.
20 points for Tumbling. It's a two-possession game. Don Martin the other way. Cleaned up by Samuel. And Michael Fly uses...
Below the free throw line. They've moved 3 players back.
Jones gets it to Swenson, and he gets fouled. FGCU has 3 fouls to give. They'd only committed 3 personals the whole half. That is the 3rd on Zach Anderson. So plenty of chances here for Florida Gulf Coast to try and come up with a steal.
And the Hatters once again, inbound plays. Let's see if you can execute.
Smith, did he push off? No, I think they're going to get Halverson.
Is it a 10-second? No, it can't be a. It looks like something, yeah, with the clock.
Yeah, there was a clock issue there. I think Florida Gulf Coast thought they were going to get a push-off on Smith.
Yeah, it looks like 10 seconds just looked like it lapsed on the clock.
So they do put the 20 back on.
And they did get it's a turnover.
But wouldn't the foul reset the shot clock? Well, it's a turnover.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused as to how that happened, but it's Florida Gulf Coast ball, so they get the stop they needed. Now to try and tie the game. Samuel chased out of the low post. Now it's Dunn Martin, lays it off to the big man, and he ties it up with 19 seconds to go.
No timeouts here, so you're going to have to get a good shot.
Swenson will likely hold here for the final play of regulation, 82-82. Hatters looking to win it.
Got to go right here.
Swenson with 6 seconds to Jones. Christian Jones fouled, and the Hatters can win it at the line.
And there was no need for Samuel to come over. Cato had pretty good defense. It was going to be a tough shot because Christian Jones was going to go and he was going to rise up, which would have been a difficult shot. Take a look at it here between the legs. Cato had good defense, but there is Samuel raking over the left arm. And I thought he was going up for a shot.
No, they called it not a shooting foul.
That's a tough one there.
A couple of weird calls here at the end. I think a turnover that I still am not sure why they called the turnover on the other end that got FGCU able to tie the game. And now that one, not a shooting foul.
It looks like either it was a violation or somebody stepped in bounds for the Hatters. We couldn't see.
They called the foul on Cato, so maybe they got contact on him before the shot.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's
Very
a tough call.
strange call.
Tough call.
Hatters looking to win it off the inbound. Jones for the win. Overtime in the line, but Hatters don't get that benefit of the doubt. And it will be Florida Gulf Coast to start here in OT after Samuel wins the jump.
Samuel has 4 fouls. Cato has 4 fouls. So those guys are going to have to be careful.
Samuel misses the hook. Cato can't come up with a rebound.
Yeah, Samuel that was a good shot, but he was off balance just a little. I mean, he's a guy that's 6'11", about 260, and he should get his own shot and shoot it when he wants to. He was a little pushed off his spot.
Shot clock winding down for Stetson. Swenson steps back, in and out with a jumper. That nearly fell. Both teams come up empty on their first possessions. Now Cato to an open Halverson in the corner. Misses the three. Halverson was scoreless in the second half. Tumblin comes down out of bounds, and it's a free possession for Florida Gulf Coast. Well, Tumblin has had such a brilliant game. 20 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals.
Those type of plays where you have to come away with the basketball. And Tumblin went up for the rebound. Just got to come away with that. Right now, possessions are, as John Chaney would say, are not 9/10, it's 10/10 of the law.
Dunmartin deep three. Off the window, no good. Anderson, the offensive rebound and the putback.
And Anderson has had some big minutes, and it's come up with some big buckets and rebounds here.
9 points, 5 boards for Zach Anderson tonight. Tumblin with the answer. He has had a statement game. His previous career high was 12. He's got 22.
That young man has come to play, and we talked about the other against Kennesaw State. Who's going to be that third scorer? Is it Josh Smith? Is it Tumblin? Both have performed admirably tonight.
Jones with a steal of Anderson. Hatter ball tied at 84.
Quality possessions right now for both teams.
Swenson driving on Dunmartin. Fouled, and this time Swenson will get to shoot 2 as Dunmartin picks up his second personal.
And Dunmartin's pleading his case. He's saying that he's pushing off, and there's the push off there, a little with the right elbow, but
Dunmartin might have gotten a little bit of a tough call there from the referees.
That's what I mean, a push off on Swenson with his right arm there, but
a lot of ball too on the eventual contact. Giveth and taketh, does the whistle.
Indeed.
And Swenson misses a chance to give the Hatters the lead at the free throw line. He will get another opportunity.
And Dunmartin looks over at the official and ball don't lie. He says, he pushed off on me. But now, Swenson, you have to convert on one of these.
He does make the second. A new career high for Swenson tonight, 14 points. He stepped up as well. 4 assists, 2 steals for him. And the Hatters back up by 1. You see neither team has shot it well at the line tonight. There's Dunmartin. Airballs a mid-range jumper early in the shot clock. Kind of a weird shot for him.
But a few minutes ago, I talked to you, Evan, about turning the ball over in your offense. Every trip, the last 4 or 5 trips, it's been off of that first screen, and someone's either taking it all the way to the basket or they've taken a shot.
Smith looking for the contact. He got it on Samuel. That is Samuel's second foul.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
I think you were looking at fouls drawn.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just a second on Kevin Samuel, but Smith will go to the line for 2.
Nice pump fake there by Josh Smith. Once you get a defender off balance and he's trailing you, you have the advantage.
Smith is a pretty good free throw shooter for the year, 13 of 17, and he makes the first.
And a good free throw shooter when he takes his time. But back to the Eagles on the other end. You have to turn the basketball over. In other words, that's what coaches mean by getting more than just one option on your offense. When you move the ball from one side of the court to the other, now you can take advantage of some things. So let's see if they do that.
Yep, 2 big free throws there for Smith. And now let's see if FGCU can get things going a little bit more. We got a foul away from the ball. It'll be on Stetson. It's on Tumblin, his third, and that'll make 1-and-1 free throws here for Florida Gulf Coast's Caleb Cato.
And once you get so when you're concentrating on that guy coming off that screen, but see, he's holding him, and you have to know your personnel. Now that's not Reggie Miller or coming off that screen. That's Caleb Cato, who's a very good basketball player, but you're not worried about him making a three. Most of the time, he's going to keep the dribble alive.
Cato makes both.
Big free throws.
Yep, 1-point game. And FGCU has been begging for free throws tonight. They finally get a couple of big ones. Hatters by 1 as we near the 2-minute mark. Both coaches with a timeout at their disposal. Both teams in the bonus. And both teams very badly in need of a win here at the end of this first round of divisional play in the A-Sun. Swenson travels.
Move that pivot foot. And that's because of Kevin Samuel. Once he got to the basket, he was able to get by Dunn Martin just a few steps, but you have a big fella to contend with. So unless you got some junk in your trunk and you got something for a big guy, you can't go that far. You're gonna have to stop and make that floater.
Caddo gets a step on Tumblin. Smith helps, but there's a foul, and Caddo can put the Eagles ahead at the line.
Now these last few possessions, instead of going on that initial, they're making the pass, and there's Cato using that body to create the contact, still give himself a chance to get it up to the basket.
That will be the 4th personal foul on Josh Smith. And the Hatters can ill afford to lose him, as Caddo ties the game with another free throw.
One of those veteran performers.
Back in the lead, FGCU. 4 straight free throws for Caddo. And again, the Eagles erase a small deficit.
This time you may want to get Christian Jones involved in your offense.
Lobs it into Smith, who wasn't looking for it. Ball's on the deck. Samuel finally gets enough room to get it to Dunn Martin.
And officials say play on. Good hustle there by Samuel, coming up with that basketball. But those unforced errors, huge right now. The Hatters have to take advantage of those possessions that they do have.
Dunn Martin driving, throws it up, off the back iron, tried to get his own miss, but Smith hauls it in. They had Jones behind everybody, but I don't think Josh was in much of a position to hurl it out to him.
Not looking up.
1 minute to go. Hatters down a point. Smith sets a screen. They get it back to him for the lead. Way short. Tumblin, what a rebound.
Got to shoot it. You still got time on the shot clock.
Swenson ducks under Dunn Martin to Tumblin. Got to put it up. Alvin Tumblin falls off the rim. And now Stetson's got to think about fouling.
Yeah, hits every part of the rim. So here, yes, in the game and good free throw shooters. So you take Samuel out and you put Richie in. They got a trap right there.
Dunn Martin fouled by Swenson, and that is the last guy you want to put on the line.
Wrong guy you want to foul.
Yep. And it's, they probably had a little bit more time than that. 3rd foul on Swenson, and 2 double bonus free throws here for Tavian Dunn Martin, who has 26 points, trying to put this game away.
If you had him in a good position, they had a trap, you should have just stayed with the trap to see what else, you know, he could do. Can only hold it for so long, and they would have called a timeout. Not let him split the trap.
Now this will be an interesting decision. If Dunn Martin makes this, does FGCU foul to prevent Stetson from getting a 3 that could potentially tie the game?
I think you play straight up defense.
It would be a 1-and-1 if Florida Gulf Coast decides to foul. Donnie Jones has a timeout, but it looks like the Hatters are going to play it here. Smith, they need a 3. Smith takes the 2. 11 seconds left.
Now you have to foul.
Big risk there by Smith, taking the 2 instead of going for a 3. And the Hatters foul before the inbound. And it will be Dunn Martin going to the line as Swenson hooked him while FGCU was looking for the inbounds pass. Donnie Jones not happy with the call, but it's the best free throw shooter for FGCU going to the free throw line.
Take a look at it here. It's actually away from the ball.
Oh, there it is.
He grabbed him around the top.
Can't avoid that.
Yeah.
Good call.
Right in front of the officials.
So again,
like ice,
FGC,
young man is
yeah, it feels almost inevitable that they're going to go in. FGCU faced with a decision here. You would think there's a timeout coming from Donnie Jones. Dunn Martin does make both. 30-point night for him.
His 4th 30-point game of the season.
And there's the foul. Yep, FGCU choosing a foul. And again, mathematically, that's the smart decision. You can't win the ball. Or you can't win the game from the free throw line if you're Stetson.
Because of the time, yeah. 8 under 10 seconds. We'll take a look at it here. And a good foul.
Well, it's a 1-and-1 for Swenson. It's early enough that he doesn't necessarily have to miss the second intentionally, but it is an option if he makes the first.
Got to make this first one.
It's good.
And he line drive that one in. Pretty good free throw shooter, even though he's down a little this year, under 70%. He was 80% last year for the Hatters.
FGCU, by the way, 8 for 8 from the free throw line here in overtime. They've needed every one of those.
Yes, they did.
Swenson makes the second. So it's a 1-point game. Hatters have to foul again, and let's see if they can put someone other than Dunn Martin on the line.
And you got to get your big fella out who doesn't shoot well from the free throw line. And here's
FGCU putting all 5 on the baseline. This looks like a football play right here.
Yep.
There they go. They come back to the ball, and it's Halverson. Josh Smith fouls out as Halverson gets set to go to the free throw line.
And Halverson is an 86%
Yeah, he's the other guy
shooter.
you didn't want to foul.
And he came in the game for Samuel. So credit Coach Fly and his coaching staff and this ingenious play here. You only need one person with the basketball out of bounds.
It's like something Ted Lasso would have drawn up if he was a basketball coach.
So now let's see, Halverson, is this his first trip from the line tonight? So that's, yep.
He has not scored until that free throw since his flurry at the end of the first half that put FGCU up by 15. Now 13 points on the night after that free throw. He misses the second. Here goes Stetson.
You got
5 seconds, timeout.
Got time.
So now Donnie Jones can draw something up to try and tie or win the game.
They're on the verge of winning.
All right, here we go. 4.6 seconds left. Stetson looking to win it. Smith loses it. Swenson for the win.